I remember my grandfather. He used to look after me when I was about 3 or 4 years old. But he was always writing. Some of his papers are in the archives. He kept track of everything, and he worked for 45 years with the local hop yards. Grandpa Billy planted a huge orchard, and we always had fruit.
Was he chief as well?
Yes, Chief Billy Hall.
And how long was he chief for?
Until he left here, well, he passed away in 1950, and my father became chief.
So was it hereditary chief then at that time?
Well, it seemed like it was hereditary, because Dad assumed the occupation. Yes, it was in Gimli, Manitoba. Mom and Dad came to visit. One time there was a knock at the door, and I went to the door, and here's all these kids standing there. And, oh, we heard there was an Indian chief here. Can we see him? Dad, come here. Somebody wants to see you. So my dad comes to the door. Where's your feathers? Kids. Oh, he says, I left that at home. They were disappointed because they didn't see any feathers on his head. A lot of Native people had tuberculosis. So after our residential school closed, they made it into a TB hospital for Native people. And my dad served as an interpreter, but he spoke the language fluently. People that came didn't speak any English at all, and Dad would try to help them. With our dialect, their dialect's slightly different from another part of British Columbia. And he helped a lot of them, you know, because they were trying to say something and they didn't understand English. I remember, I don't like height. Height bothers me. He carried me across the trestle. There was a trestle going over to Suwali. There was a trestle from the little mountain there right across to the field. Well, I closed my eyes. My dad carried me across there. I was about 4 years old. And he just walked right across. It was so high. Anyway, and Dad used to take me fishing with him. He'd fish in the Chilliwack River. Well, one day we were late and it was getting dark. So Dad shone the light in the river. You should have seen the fish. They were just like this in the river. This is the Chilliwack River. I was just little too. And if I was tired, Dad would carry me on his shoulders and carry the fish and walk home. He was a real strong man. He was a logger, and in those days they did it. They cut by, should have seen the muscles on that man. He was really strong. So it was nothing for him to throw me over and put me on his shoulders and carry me home.